Hey, Floofy Meatloaf, you gotta get off of the chair. I have to record right here. No, you have to. No, this is not your seat. Oh, gotta sit down for this video. Hello all of my otaku friends, my name is Prof Otaku, and welcome back to my channel. As everybody is buying manga and our collections are expanding at this fantastic time of the year, the question now becomes, should I insure my manga collection? What should I do? Should I do homeowner? Should I do collector's insurance? What is all this legal mumbo jumbo that I just don't want to read? Well, today is your lucky day. We're going to break down a contract, but not just any contract, my manga collector's insurance contract. So stay tuned. Before I get started with the video, this video is inspired by the Manga Sloth. He already did a great introduction video on manga insurance and the different types of value into getting manga insurance. So I highly recommend you check his video out. I did want to take the video a step further and go into the ins and outs of the legality of it, kind of understanding what you're covered and what you're not covered. So question one. Do I need manga insurance? That seems a little far-fetched, right? Insuring your manga? We have health insurance, car insurance, manga insurance. It just seems kind of silly. But yes, you do need manga insurance. Now, it depends on your place in life. If you've got 10 volumes of manga, yeah, you probably don't need it. But when you've got a 1,500 volume collection, it's definitely something worthwhile. And here's why. It's for peace of mind. You just never know what's going to happen. You want to be prepared. And it's a drop in the bucket financially so that you can replace everything if something goes awry. So today we are talking about a company, a collector's company called American Collectors Insurance. Obviously this is an American company, and this is after me kind of like scouting around and seeing all the different types of companies out there. I have found that they are the best with customer service and understanding my personal needs, so you know transparency about my insurance contract. So the premium that I pay every year for this insurance is $88. The main premium is $64. Then I have an extra $24 for a moving policy. In case I ever move across the country or a new state, everything goes in the moving truck. It's all insured while I'm moving the collection. So that was just an extra precautionary step, and I'll talk about why that was important for me as we move into this next part, exclusions. So let's talk about exclusions, what the policy does not cover. And so this first section here, they do not insure against normal wear and tear. And that's why it's really, really important to keep your manga in a controlled environment, free of humidity, away from direct sunlight, yada, yada, yada. There are many videos online showing how to keep your manga in good condition. Check those videos out, but the insurance company will not cover deterioration of manga over time. The next thing is repairing, restoration, or retouching. This mainly applies for us to out-of-print books, library books. You know, you got the stickers, you got yellowing, you want to do some sanding, you want to take the stickers off. If you destroy that out-of-print manga for any sort of reason at all, it does not cover that restoration process. So there are many videos talking about how to do this safely. Check those out, but just know that even if it is insured, these new library books you're getting in, once you do anything to the book, it's not going to be covered. The next thing is theft from an unattended auto vehicle, with the exception of a certified mover if you're moving across the state. This is where that second layer of protection came in that I had bought earlier. And so if you are moving to another state, you have to take the collection and put it into a car. You buy that extra layer of insurance, it covers that whole process. But the insurance policy is talking about you can't just take the collection and put it in your car and just keep it in your car because somebody can look inside and steal it. And that's what it's saying. It's like, hey, you can't do that. You need to keep your manga in a safe, controlled place at all times. You can't just be, thrown in the car when you want to. So just know that if you ever get anything stolen out of your car and you have manga in there, that's just not going to be covered. The next 2 points are insurance fraud stuff, basically. you can't just go to the insurance company and say, hey, my manga collection's gone, because then you're going to get all these questions asked. How did this happen? There's going to be an investigation that happens, and if you can't prove it, then you're not going to get it covered. So don't even try. The next thing is loss of market value. This is a very fluctuating market, and we've seen that over the last year and a half, especially with out-of-print books, how their stock has risen. Even retail books have risen, but with in-print stuff, those basically stay market value. Out-of-print stuff, it gets a little bit weird. Just know that if there is a loss in market value, say my collection goes from $20,000 value to a $10,000 value, like everything just drops off the face of the earth, I can't recover that. They're gonna base their analysis of the collection on the current market value. So it's a risk you have to take, but they're not on the hook for it. It's just the name of the game. The last point of exclusions, this is super important when a lot of people don't realize this. Damage or loss of property when stored or displayed outside the primary residence for more than 30 days. And what this basically means is if you have you have to declare to the company where your collection's going to be, in a residency, in a storage unit. So I declared, hey, my collection's going to be in my manga library in my house. Now, if I say, hey, you know what, I'm going to throw everything in a storage unit instead, if it's there for more than 30 days, it is not covered by the insurance company in case, you know, the AC goes out, a flood, whatever happens. That's really, really important, because you have to say where the collection's going to be. Now, if you declare that it's going to be sitting in a storage unit for eternity, then yeah, then that's your jurisdiction and then it's covered. But you have to always say where it's going to be, and it doesn't just cover wherever you put the manga. The company wants to know where the collection is at all times, so you just can't move it around. That's really, really important. Now, just like I said earlier, in the contract, there is a specific part about books. They say that they don't cover fading, creasing, denting, scratching, tearing, transfer of colors, you know, fading, any sort of things like that, and then just general like disappearance without explanation. So this is all specifically to books that is in the contract. So obviously insurance is made for freak accidents. So even though it's not really labeled on what I've been showing, obviously it covers against flood damage, fire damage, tornadoes, yada, yada, yada. And if you're in an apartment complex, your apartment complex also has insurance as well. This is all under that umbrella. That's why we have insurance. It's for freak accidents. So the next part is protective safeguards. In the contract, you have to say where the collection's going to be, number one, but you also have to say that they say you have to use and maintain quality storage units, whether it be in the residency or in a storage unit, because if something happens, they're going to check out the place. They're going to say, hey, has everything been taken care of? Or did you pick like a really bad place with no AC or no like safeguards against like flooding or anything like that? Or was this just like, is it just a freak accident, or were there things that you could have done to prevented this? That's where it gets a little tricky when insurance companies try to kind of get you on the hook for your collection. But you know, especially for me, I'm in an apartment. My collection's on the second story. It's in everything. The walls are insulated, yada, yada, yada. So I've shown them that I'm in a very protected environment. So you have to show them that too. Just ask them questions at the beginning. What are you guys specifically looking for if you do put your manga in a storage unit, or you are looking to put it in a house or anything like that? Now, as our manga collections are always expanding and growing, you know, it's kind of hard to keep track of, you know, what's going in and out of the collection. There is a part about newly acquired property, and they do cover it whenever you get in a new volume of manga in. They cover all of this up to 30 days, but within that 30 days, you have to report the actual item to the company. Hey, I got in 20 volumes of manga, and then tell them how much it was, and then they put it in there, and then you have to pay whatever the premium increase or decrease is. So as we get more manga, you know, you have to insure it for a little bit higher, your premium goes up, you have to pay that difference. I mean, we're not talking like $20 every time you get in more manga. We're talking like literally cents on the dollar. So it's very, very small, because just for a $20,000 collection policy, we're talking like $88 for the year, for the whole year. So yeah, so we're not talking a lot, but you have to be proactive in reporting these new acquisitions to the company. You just can't let it sit unless it's not going to be covered. And one more thing about newly acquired property, and this is for my policy only, it could be different at other companies, but they only cover for the newly acquired property, they only cover up to $2,000 of new property. So say you have a big mega haul that's like, I mean, rarely anybody does this, but just pretend you have a $5,000 manga haul for the month. Well, if something happens to your collection within those 30 days of you reporting it, they're only going to cover $2,000 of that $5,000 manga haul. So just know that. And so that's why it's also important within those 30 days or as soon as possible, just let them know what you got and change that threshold for the insurance and pay the premium. So then it's all covered at once. Talking about cataloging of manga, there is a section they expect you to keep a very clear inventory of what's going in and out of your collection and how much you're buying it for and the retail price. And so this is mainly, you have to send this document. You can do it in Excel sheet, Word, whatever, but they just want a document kind of showing what's in the collection. And so make sure that you're using Excel, keeping track of everything. I have a video about my organization process on Excel, and there are other videos out there as well that show that. Now, another thing they want you to do along with the spreadsheet, they want you to take pictures and they want you to hold on to receipts. And so if you've got the time, and I still have to do this, I need to go through all my PayPal transactions, all my Right Stuff transactions, Books A Million, all these emails, basically put these emails together into a file on your computer or just send it off to them immediately so that they have physical evidence of you buying the manga and for how much. This will help you in the claims process if you ever need it. So finally, let's talk about the claims process. What do you do when something happens to your collection? So the first thing you have to do is you have to notify them as soon as possible, say, hey, the collection was destroyed. The second thing you have to do is send them the inventory. And like I said, they want it to be very clear. They want how much you bought it for, what's the title, how many volumes is the series. They want the retail value or the estimated value of the manga. It just helps speed up this process if you have all this information down. And so you got to send them the inventory. They want pictures, they want receipts, they want everything. Now, if you don't have receipts or you don't have everything kind of monetized in your collection, like showing how you bought it, it's okay. It's okay. Just know that you're gonna have to fight harder to get some of the money back, because what happens after this process is that then you're going into appraisal mode. So between you and the insurance company, and the insurance company will start to research how much is it going to cost to replace these volumes of manga? How easily can I replace it? At this point in the video, you might be wondering, hey, Prof, why are you re-uploading this manga insurance video? And the reason why I'm re-uploading it is because I actually got some information wrong, and I'm really adamant about making sure I give you guys the right information. So for that, I apologize. This section of the video went into out-of-print books, and I had said before that they do not cover out-of-print books. That is not true. The company has informed me they do cover out-of-print books. Just know that the market value obviously changes, and they use a lot of different references to make sure they get an accurate price for you. So just know whatever you put into buying the books, if the market value is under that at that point in time, you may not get the same return. But they do cover those out of print books, so that makes this company an absolutely great company to put a policy with. So another thing you have to do during the claims process is you have to send in within 60 days a signed proof of loss. So this is either through like a police report if something happens, like it gets stolen or whatever, a burglary, through your through the electrician company, the city water department, the management for the apartment complex, whatever. You need like visual documentation of the catastrophe that occurred. You can't just say, hey, this happened, because they just need to see that this is going on. Now, after this process is done and the appraisals come in, basically the company will say, hey, prof, your value of collection is yada, yada, yada. This is what we're going to pay out to you. And you can accept the payout, or you can say, no, that's not what I think my collection is worth. At this point, if there's a disagreement, then you have to go to a third-party appraisal. And so both parties have to agree on the person or the company that's appraising the collection, and then they give the determination. Who the appraiser is really interesting in our community because, you know, it's kind of like, who could it be? So, you know, this could be something like Viz Media, or even like a manga tuber could probably come in and give a very fair appraisal. With books, though, this is actually pretty simple. This probably will never ever happen, this appraisal rebuttal, because books are widely available retail, so it's very clear about the going trend of books. So you should expect a fair evaluation on your collection. So that is it for the ins and outs of the collection insurance. I hope this helps you kind of think about whether you should buy this and what to expect and what is covered, what's not covered, and how to do this process. Because it's important for us. This is an investment. You're putting in your hard work, sweat, and tears into buying this collection. So put in the effort to make sure that it is insured, because you just never know what's going to happen. The last thing that you want to happen is for your multi-year tens of thousands of dollars, thousands of dollar collection just go up in smokes and you can't get it back. That's just the worst feeling in the world. It gives me peace of mind every time I leave my house knowing that my manga collection is insured for the years to come. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, tap that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you know when more of my videos come out. I will see you in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.